What's going on, guys? It's Tom or Top 10 Wrestling, and today we're going to be discussing what I believe to be the absolute worst feud in WWE history. A feud that nobody wanted to see and served absolutely no purpose and benefited nobody, especially the fans. That, of course, being the feud that took place in 2011 between Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler. Before we get into it though, I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters. Let me read these names out quickly. Marky D, Alan Barkley, Ephraim Martin, Gravedigger33, Jonathan Thompson, Cedric Cowan, NX Gamer, First Phil, Jackery Williams, Josh Nolan, Steve Wingfield, Magpie, and Steve. If you guys want to see more exclusive content from me, as well as get other perks, check out my Patreon link down below. There's all that jazz there. It would really help me during these trying times, during this pandemic, and it would just be really much appreciated. But yeah, enough wasting time. Let's just talk about this feud, which I kind of don't want to. But let's go.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you are watching Top 10 Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
So first of all, let's talk about how this feud even came to be and all the circumstances leading up to it. In 2010, the commentary team for Raw consisted of Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler, and throughout 2010, Michael Cole started showing more heel tendencies. He became the lead announcer for NXT back when it was a game show, and it's around this time where he would properly turn heel, becoming a heel commentator for the first time in his career, and Michael Cole essentially just started sucking up to The Miz and degrading his NXT rookie Daniel Bryan, which led to many confrontations between himself and Bryan throughout that season of NXT. When the awful anonymous Raw general manager came to be, Michael Cole became the official spokesperson for the anonymous Raw general manager. Whenever he would read a message, he would announce that he has received an email from the GM and always say, and I quote, before reading it, which really riled the fans up and kind of became his version of Vicky Guerrero's Excuse Me. We mentioned before that Michael Cole was a big fan of The Miz, and this of course is the year where The Miz infamously won the WWE Championship, and when Miz won the title, Michael Cole's support for The Miz basically tripled. However, one of The Miz's detractors was Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole's commentary partner, and this is basically where the feud begins. On the November 29th episode of Raw, Jerry Lawler would begin feuding with The Miz. Yes, seriously, they had a TLC match for the WWE title that night, which The Miz won after interference from Michael Cole. Yes, that's right, the world champion needed help from a commentator to beat another commentator, and the WWE title is being used as a prop for a feud between commentators. Lawler and The Miz would continue feuding with each other, and Lawler would earn another shot at The Miz's title when on the January 31st episode of Raw, he won a 7-person Royal Rumble match to become number 1 contender. Like, what's actually happening? Jerry Lawler winning a Royal Rumble match on Raw? What's going on here? No, seriously, what is going on here? Lawler would face The Miz one-on-one for the title at the Elimination Chamber, with The Miz winning. Keep in mind, The Miz is on his way to main event WrestleMania, and this is how he's getting there, by beating a commentator. What on earth? The next night on Raw, Lawler, tired with how Michael Cole was treating him, challenged Michael Cole to a match at WrestleMania 27. Here we go. Michael Cole would announce Jack Swagger as his trainer, and the next week, Cole was about to announce JBL as the special guest referee, but then Stone Cold Steve Austin came out, stunned JBL, and signed the contract instead, meaning Stone Cold Steve Austin is the special guest referee for Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler. Is this really the best way you thought of to use Austin at Mania? This is really the best way? Michael Cole would begin straight up harassing Jerry Lawler, including bringing out Grandmaster Sexay, Jerry's son, to, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, the quietest return reaction of all time. Literally no reaction was there. It was silence. It was so awkward. He also did things like making light of Lawler's mother's death, which is a massive yikes, and the feud leading into Mania was fairly one-sided towards Cole, with him and Swagger attacking Lawler and harassing him every single week. The match at WrestleMania 27 finally came around, and it was awful. I'm not going to do a breakdown of this match. I'm not going to tell you bit by bit what happened. I'm not even going to tell you to watch it yourself, because it's just terrible. Jerry Lawler initially got the win by submission, but then the anonymous Raw GM emailed saying that because Steve Austin got physically involved, that Michael Cole had won by DQ, and him and Swagger celebrated up the ramp. This match lasted nearly 15 minutes, and when you add in all the entrances, all the stuff surrounding it with the anonymous Raw GM, it's easily past 20 minutes. 20 plus minutes about commentators wrestling each other. And when Michael Cole went backstage, it said that Vince McMahon called it the worst thing he's ever seen, and The Undertaker was very vocal about his distaste to it, as well as the road agent who booked it getting a lot of heat. But what were they expecting here? You can't seriously blame the road agent and Cole and Lawler. It's a match between two commentators here. Vince, Undertaker, what were you expecting from them? Were you really expecting a masterpiece here? Like, come on. But hey, despite the fact that Vince McMahon thought it was the worst thing he's ever seen, the feud continued, and a match was made for Extreme Rules, a tag match seeing Jack Swagger and Michael Cole take on Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross in a country whipping match, whatever that is. This match went about 7 minutes, and Michael Cole and Swagger won, you know, the team with an actual active wrestler in it. But hey, speaking of Swagger, at the previous year's Extreme Rules, he was defending the world title against Randy Orton, and 1 year later, he's fighting commentators. My god, what a fall from grace. That is awful. Oh yeah, and I should say, this match absolutely sucked as well. It was a little better than the last match because it was shorter, had a stipulation and an actual wrestler wrestling in it, but it still completely sucked. So yeah, at this point, this feud has to be over. It's been so one-sided towards Michael Cole, who has won both the matches, all while embarrassing Jerry Lawler and just making him look like a dork. But lucky for us, the feud wasn't over, and we were getting one more match. For God's sake, please can this just end? Jerry Lawler was desperate to beat Michael Cole, so much so that Jerry Lawler challenged Michael Cole to a match at Over the Limit with his Hall of Fame ring on the line, and said that he would personally induct Michael Cole into the Hall of Fame if Cole won. Now, surely this should have been the Mania stipulation, since they do the whole Hall of Fame at Mania, the segment, but again, that's too smart for WWE, so of course they wouldn't do that. During this feud, Michael Cole accidentally said that nobody remembers Jack Swagger as world champion and made Jack Swagger quit as his personal trainer, and heading into this match, it was just going to be a one-on-one match, no interference from Swagger, no nothing. So maybe we can finally see the end to this feud. During the contract signing for this match, Michael Cole announced that this would be a Kiss My Foot match, a match where the loser must kiss the winner's foot, and a match that Lawler had some history with. A lot was on the line here for Jerry Lawler. The match came around at Over the Limit, and Jerry Lawler finally beat Michael Cole, and he did it in very convincing fashion. He beat the crap out of him, including throwing him through the coal mine, which is something I didn't even mention. That's a meme and a half, the coal mine. Jerry Lawler made Michael Cole tap out after about 3 minutes, then after the match, it was revenge time. Many people who Michael Cole had wronged then came out, including Eve Torres, who moonsaulted him. Michael Cole at one point had interrupted Eve's match on the microphone and disrespected her. Bret Hart came out and locked him in the sharpshooter, which I don't know what Cole did to Bret Hart, but I'll take their word for it that something happened. And then JR came out after all the years of Michael Cole wronging him, we all know what he's done, and poured his hot sauce on Cole, then poured the hot sauce on Lawler's foot as they all watched as Cole kissed Lawler's foot. So the feud at least had a somewhat of a convincing end, with Cole getting his comeuppance. So the feud is finally over. Or is it? Because they would actually have one more match taking place on Raw on July 9th, 2012, the next year. Yeah, the feud was basically over, but they had one more match. On this show, the anonymous Raw general manager made a one-night return and booked a rematch between the two. Lawler very quickly won, but the decision was reversed by the GM because of interference, just like their WrestleMania match. Detective Santino Marella then came out and discovered Hornswoggle under the ring with a laptop, and it was here where it was revealed that Hornswoggle was the anonymous Raw general manager this entire time. And yes, now it's over. That's finally it for the Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler feud. A feud that no one wants to see. A feud that benefited nobody. And yeah, it was just not great. If this video seems rushed, by the way, guys, it's because I'm trying to get this out at the last minute. I've got about an hour and a half to edit and upload this, so let's see if I can do it. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, smack the like button. I'm so sorry I had to bring back these memories for you, because this feud was absolutely awful, but it's cool. Like the video if you enjoyed. Check me out on Patreon. Follow me on Twitter at TalkTonWrestling. My Instagram's at I'm Tom Bell. Subscribe, notifications on so you never miss a video. I'm trying to hit 200k, so help me get there. Goodbye, and keep on rolling.
Kickback, chillin' out, maxin', relaxin'. Summertime weather, fantastic. Kickback, I'ma crack another cold one. Barbecue chicken almost done. Kickback, ayy. All the shorties came through and my friends came too. It's a vibe at the kickback, yeah. And we live from the kickback. What's up? What's up? They making fun of me. They say that I don't season my chicken. That ain't true though, cause I put the salt and pepper up in it. Not for real, I just cover it in Sweet Baby Ray's. If anybody got suggestions, you can send them my way, cause I've been cooking. And I got my friends with me.